Hello and welcome to the Overly Animated Podcast, where we take animation seriously. We provide fan-oriented and analytic discussions on a variety of animated shows, movies, and anime, currently featuring Steven Universe, Miraculous Ladybug, New Powerpuff Girls, Starverse, The Force of Evil, and RWBY. I'm Dylan Hysen, and today I'm joined by Delaney Stovall.
Hey, y'all.
Today, Delaney and I will be discussing episode of Chapter 7 of Volume 4 of RWBY Punished, which, unbeknownst to me, came out today, the 23rd, or the 24th.
Christmas
the 24th,
Eve.
the Christmas Eve. They had an episode this week. We were not expecting this. This is a last-minute podcast to discuss Punished, this Chapter 7. I'm also going to put this out on the Saturday, so it's not even on for free members up yet. But there you go, new episode of RWBY. We'll get into all of this, and we discuss RWBY every week here on the Overly Animated Podcast. You can check us out at overlyanimated.com or search for the Overly Animated Podcast on iTunes, Stitcher, Google Play Music, your other favorite podcatcher. So spoilers for this episode. A note before we start, I'm much less prepared for this podcast than normal. Maybe to your surprise, listeners, I actually prepare extensively for RWBY podcasts. I watched the episode twice. I look at discussion. But yeah, and I only have handwritten notes and one viewing. So I apologize if I get things wrong. But let's get into Punished. Delaney and I literally just watched this. Reactions, Delaney.
It was really fast paced. There was a lot going on. I don't think there's nothing really shocking in the episode. It's pretty neat though. Good fight. The Weiss stuff, like Weiss, just jump out the window, just go, just run away. The Oscar stuff was weird, which is expected because Ozpin is in his head. But I don't know, it was neat stuff. I think probably the most interesting episode we've had in a while. I actually enjoyed it. Granted, it was fast. It wasn't really boring. Not like too much, like it's not like too much excitement, but like we're going places now. Like we're reaching places, kind of like we're moving toward them.
Yeah, I mean, this is another episode and another, not even close to, having RWBY back together, but I guess we're closer with Weiss now, because presumably she is about to jump out the window, at the end.
Yeah, she's like, bah.
She gets her sword, and then what was she doing? I guess she was like faking an attack. That was my first reaction. It's like she's faking an attack on her.
That's what I was thinking, because like she's moving all her furniture, and it didn't look like she was moving her furniture in front of like the door, so I think it's more just, yeah, I guess she's making it look like.
Yeah, she couldn't have been blocking them out, so she must have been staging something. But yeah. I don't really know, because she moved that table into the middle. Yeah, I thought the Weiss stuff. So I think this was a good episode. This is one of the better ones this season. The Weiss stuff I think was weak. Expected. The Oscar stuff was the best Oscar stuff we've gotten, but that does not saying much.
Right.
We at least got an explanation. Granted. The explanation is our auras have combined. So, you're bringing in auras here, so you're just going to convolute it more. And then I think the Tyrion Crow fight was great. I think this is one of the better fights we've gotten in a while. I think it was even better than the first half last week, which I know there's a lot of debate on whether that was one of the better fights we've gotten in a while or not. But yeah, we'll take you through that. Most importantly, this heavy RWBY involvement episode.
Finally.
Yeah, so I thought RWBY was great in this episode. And, her fight, we got a lot of RWBY fighting, and it was great. I mean, this was a heavy RWBY Weiss episode, so I'm a fan.
Also, I was terrified for RWBY's safety the whole episode.
Yeah, I'm shocked that they did not capture RWBY. Thank you for not doing that, but I thought that they would have. So, whatever. Let's go through these specifics. Also, probably a shorter podcast here. Delaney and I banged this out on Christmas Eve. So, let's talk the Oscar stuff. So, I think the highlight is, as I try to read my handwritten notes, is auras and their souls combined, says Ozpin. So, this is basically Oscar. Oscar has Ozpin in his head. I don't think we even knew that until now. We'd like heard his voice in the mirror, but I don't know. We didn't know that this was like a constant thing for Oscar.
Yeah, I don't think we didn't know what was going on. This is really the second time we've heard Ozpin, and it's like they actually had a conversation.
Yeah. I don't know why they saved this until now. I think you could have built this up a little bit better rather than have that stupid mirror scene. But yeah, Ozpin says it's our thoughts, our auras and souls have combined. They're in Haven right now. They're in Mistral right now. They're in Mistral. They're talking about the office in Haven. And they had this stupid thing where Oscar's like, Ozpin's like, describe the office in Haven. Oscar just starts reciting things. You know, that was kind of stupid, but it was okay.
Yep.
And so apparently Osmond helped build that office. I don't know if that was. I don't know how old the school in Haven is.
Right.
Was that supposed to mean that Osmond's really old? Like, that could be if that school's really old because Osmond helped build it, but I'm not sure.
I mean, I think we can probably infer. We don't know for a fact. This probably, implies that Osmond's very old.
I'm pretty close to all in on the Osmond's very old theory. Like,
yeah.
If not eternal,
Immortal.
if not the yin yang eternal goddess like type thing with Salem, like the yeah. I think that's where they're going with this. But
well, I mean, we there's very clearly a long tradition of hunters and huntresses, and I think it would make sense that Beacon had been built long ago.
Yeah, and I think it'd work with the mythology of the show if Osmond was like this. So what do you think of them being? So what do you think's going on here? Their auras are combined. What is this? Did Osmond reincarnate into Oscar?
Yeah,
or is this
that's what I was trying to figure out.
Did he jump into his head? Like what's going on here?
I feel like knowing this show and the vague explanations we will continue to get, I feel like it's probably something kind of like he almost in a Horcruxy kind of way, like he kind of like Ozpin's soul latched onto like maybe the most powerful soul near him, or like I mean, I think Oscar was like, it's for a reason. I'm just not sure what that reason is yet. I mean, it could be like the maiden stuff, who knows? But I think it's more, I don't know, like it's Oscar for a reason. I'm not sure what that reason is yet.
Yeah, the big problem with the reincarnation thing is that Osmond, if he's dead, he died like 6 months ago, and Oscar's obviously older than that, so that doesn't really work. So you'd have to more have jumped into his aura, I guess.
Right.
And maybe that's a thing. Maybe they're always linked, and now it's just manifesting. Yeah,
there's no telling. Well, there's also, I'm just curious as to if this has happened to Ozpin before.
Yeah, if he's been with other people like that. Like, is this like a Harry Potter book 1 recovery type thing for Ozpin? Or, is he like have to inhabit someone because he's not strong enough to be on his own? Or is this just like his choice? Like what's going on here? Yeah, we gotta, I'm just curious if will Ozpin return to a human form or whatever he is. Yeah. But they also say Osmond says he went through the same thing as Oscar. I don't know what the heck that means. Right. So maybe that's implying Osmond is just one in a line of this type of thing. So when Osmond was a kid, he was inhabited by the person before him, and then now that Osmond died, he inhabited someone else, and then now it's so I think that's what that's implying when Osmond said he went through the same thing, because I have that written down. And that. So is Ozpin not really? So maybe it's not Ozpin who matters. Maybe it's not Ozpin himself. It's more of just the lineage of the old man in the maiden's legend, right? Maybe that Ozpin's just one in a long line of the old man. Yeah. Right. I guess that's more likely from that one line, but it's just one line. Yeah. Granted, that's the kind of ridiculous nonsense the show would do and not explain well. So maybe. Yeah, maybe. Whatever it is, they're not gonna. I don't think they'll deal with this really until the finale. No, we're not. I doubt we'll see. I don't think we're. I mean, I think we'll see Oscar at least one more time, but we're not going to get a lot of explanation. Yeah, we'll get Oscar going somewhere because Osmond tells him to, and then at the end, Osmond jumps out of his head or something, or maybe he becomes Osmond for a second, or I don't know what's going to happen. Who knows? Yeah, I think he wants him to go to Beacon, he wants him to go to Haven. I guess I don't know if we're getting our countries mixed up or not, but it's confusing. Yeah, I don't know. I apologize if we are. I'm not prepared enough for that. But okay. So there's the Oscar stuff. We might. All I know is Beacon is in Haven. That's all I know. There you go. And we also had Oscar's mom talking to him, so he's not living alone. It kind of seemed like. Right. I don't know if we'd heard Oscar's mom for a second before, but yeah. I don't think so. So there you go. It was just farm stuff. Exciting stuff, Oscar. Great. I'm glad that we put this character in there. Okay. Let's talk the Weiss stuff. So this Weiss stuff is Weiss talking to her dad, and
Dad's the
then
worst.
her dad's the worst, and Weiss says she wants to leave. Weiss's dad is mad. Weiss points out that Jacques married into the Schnee name, which was something that was unknown to us until last week's
Yes.
World of Remnant, which let's reveal that was the big revelation. Last week's World of Remnant was on the Schnee Dust Company, and it's like Jacques married into the family name and took the company to new heights or something. So, I wonder how much they coordinate that. That's interesting.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that's kind of an interesting line in terms of like throwing it into the main show here. I wonder if it's like supposed to stand on its own or if it like, would be more impactful there. But clearly to me, this is like the most Weiss has ever, taken a claim of her lineage and like her
Right.
inheritance. Like, I guess maybe season 1, she was big about being the heiress, but like, she seemed like very upset that she says
Yeah.
the Schnee family legacy is mine, she says. So I don't, I thought we had mostly moved past this with Weiss. Like, I didn't think she really cared anymore, but I guess, I don't know. I don't mind this. It's just,
Well, it's not a bad thing. I
not-
think it's different. It's evolved.
it came out a little bit came out of nowhere for me with her character.
That's fair.
I get this seems very season 1 Weissy. But yeah, I like that she like feels it's illegitimate of her dad. I think that adds a lot to the season 1 stuff. That adds a lot to some previous stuff, struggles we've seen with her and her dad, like her not taking her dad's calls in the beginning of the last season,
Right.
stuff like that. Like, this maybe makes more sense now if there's more of like, in addition to him acting horribly, it's also like he's like taken over the family or whatever. Maybe that adds something.
And he doesn't want her to be a huntress, so
Yeah, I guess not. Yeah, stay. So Jack's like, you're just gonna stay here and you're gonna keep me prisoner, and that was just so ridiculous. Like, this type of plot, it's like, okay, this is terrible. It's obviously not gonna happen, and
Right.
it's kind of unrealistic. So I don't know what we're talking about. Like,
it's dumb.
Weiss is just like a trained fighter and could beat you up right now. I don't understand
Exactly.
what's happening here.
Exactly. She could just ruin your life.
Yeah. Yeah, you're not the heiress anymore. Whitley is. The Whitley stuff pays off, Delaney.
I told you he's sketchy. I told you.
Why
And
did
Delaney was right.
Whitley have to be sketchy? He was just the sweet younger brother, but no.
No, he's super creepy.
They just make him devious in this episode.
He's
and then
weirdo.
He has the evil smile at the end, and then Weiss talks to Whitley at the end. You wanted this to happen, didn't you?
And like he makes that really scary face. And I'm like, whoa, Whitley.
Yeah.
Chill.
The company. Don't worry, sister. It's in good hands. Yeah.
Like, okay, like he's like delightful children from down the lane right now. Like he's a weirdo, man.
Yeah. Not not a fan of this Whitley arc. I don't know what the point is if we're just doing that.
Well, I think it's interesting. Winter ran off.
Right.
So,
So
like-
yeah, that's the other thing we learned. Winter is we didn't know that Winter running, like not being in the Schnee legacy, was like defying her dad, right? That wasn't
Right.
something we really knew, but running off like your sister. So Winter is kind of like a Schnee family rebel or whatever, which is not
Yes.
really known before. So I did like that too. Yeah, I don't know what the point of any of the Whitley stuff is though.
I don't. Also, like, do we know what happened to her mom?
We heard that she was drinking in the garden in that one episode, so
That's true.
she's just there but out of it, I guess.
That's fair. Which, I mean, if I was married to Jacques, I would also drink in the garden. So,
That'd be your move, would be drinking in the garden.
I mean, there'd be a mistress, but yes, I would drink in the garden.
For you, not for Jock, yes.
Yes.
But yeah, it's yeah, I wasn't too big of a fan of any of this stuff. I like Weiss at the end with the sword. I like that shot. I'll make that the screenshot.
Yeah, that's
I thought
really
that was
good.
But overall, if next episode we see Weiss on the run, what was really the point of any of this?
Yeah, like, I don't really know, like, I mean, I would like some more payoff with this Schnee stuff. Like, granted, maybe we'll get it later, like, in another season or something, but, like, this is just weird. It doesn't make a lot of sense. There's not been a lot, like, we've just known that she's the heiress to the Schnee Company. We know the Schnee Company sells dust. There was that weird conflict about dust back in Volume 1, and now it's like, we don't know anything that's going on. Like, none of it really makes sense. Like, we need to start putting some stuff together.
Yeah, I think this is supposed to be character stuff for Weiss and maybe a little bit world building for the Schnee Dust Company. I don't know how much it succeeded as character stuff for Weiss. Like, I don't know if this is going to matter too much. I think it would have been better spent on, Weiss's interactions with other characters we cared about. but it's whatever.
Well,
I guess.
there's no real like development. We don't really like nothing. I feel like none of this has changed anything that we know about Weiss, other than she does care about the company. Granted, we could have like figured that one out.
Yeah.
So I don't really. I'm a little. Yeah, if she's on the run and we don't really talk about it anymore, it's going to be kind of like, well, that was pointless. We just had to keep Weiss somewhere.
I do you think this episode opens up the door for an Asami type arc with Weiss? Like,
Yes.
I think my read on where Weiss, Asami from Legend of Korra, I think my read on Weiss before this was that she would just completely be done with the Schneedesk company. But if she still feels like the legacy is hers, then it might be more of a reclaiming the company for herself after
Yes.
her dad is locked away for forever.
So they have like
And
a
then-
mech fight.
Right, and then they have a mech fight, and then do you think Jacques will come back in the series finale and redeem himself and then die?
No,
No,
he'll
I
just
don't
die
think so.
because he's the worst.
Hiroshi over Jacques.
Yes, Hiroshi. Yes.
Yeah, but do you agree
Well, I
with that?
think
That's-
Hiroshi at least like clearly loved Asami.
Right,
He
that
was
was-
misguided and messed up.
yeah,
but
that was always the thing. Hiroshi always loved Asami, and clearly Jacques does not really care about Weiss.
I don't think he cares about any of his children. His children are just pawns in his little scheme, and then
And I-
Whitley's a little weirdo.
Yeah,
There'll be a mech fight with Whitley too.
yeah, I guess so. Whitley, he could care about Whitley. We haven't really seen that yet, but
It's true.
Jacques also slaps Weiss in this episode. Awful. Yeah,
Not
Yeah.
okay.
yeah. I don't know how she doesn't just kill him. Like,
I know, right?
That's
Like,
extreme,
she's-
but like she could, she's
She just
obviously
straight up end him.
she has her sword right there, literally. So yeah, but do you agree with my read on this that Weiss may be more of an Asami thing than an abandoning the company thing?
No, that's what I was thinking. Yeah.
Yeah.
This is definitely. I'm getting the Asami vibes.
Yeah, and that means Ruby is the Korra because she's going to be like
Yeah.
the spring maiden, and then
Yes.
White Rose equals Korrasami confirmed. Okay,
Yeah.
yeah, there you go. So there's I think the Weiss stuff was the weakest part of the episode.
Yeah, I'd say so. Like it was just the dialogue was also really stilted and weird,
Yeah,
and it was
typical.
just overall. Yeah, overall it was just really weird, and I need Jacques to go away.
Yeah. If this was the last we saw of Jacques, I'd be fine with that.
Fair enough. Yes.
If we never saw Jacques, I'd have
Till the
been fine
next
with that too. Until the fight. Okay. The best part of the episode, though, I think, is the Crow Tyrion fight with Ruby in there as well. Things we learn in this fight. Tyrion says the Queen Crow knows Salem. Did we know this
Yes.
from before? I feel like Crow mentioned Salem before. I don't
He
know.
might have when he was like talking to his sister.
Yeah. So Crow clearly knows what's going on.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Crow knows Salem. The rest of them don't know Salem. Tyrion has like guns on his things as well. I don't think we
Yeah.
knew that. Yeah.
No, we didn't. He was just like, it's like, oh, great, now he can shoot you. Nice.
Yeah. Ruby's trying to help from long range. What else? The whole thing, the whole like gimmick of the fight is that Crow wants them to stay back because he's clearly trying to take Ruby. But then Ruby
Yeah.
goes back in. It's my fight too. And then Crow at one point is like, it's not that. So I don't know what they're going for with that.
Well, I think it might have been like, well, immediately after that, they both get hurt. So I feel like that's what it was. It's like the auras, like they could die because like Crow gets hit.
Oh yeah,
she-
yeah. Crow was had some red sparkles on him in the fight.
You know, I
which-
saw that. Yeah, no, it was. And then also, same thing happened to Tyrion, like the aura breaking away.
Yeah, so I think that was supposed to be Crow's aura going down, and then
Yeah.
because that's how he gets hit at the end if his
Right.
aura goes down.
And
Yeah.
the same thing with Tyrion.
Yeah. So I guess Crow, it's more like he doesn't want Ruby to be involved. It's just like it's too dangerous at the moment. Is that what he's going for? But
Well, he stepped in because Ruby's aura got broken.
yeah,
I
so
feel
it's like
he's,
you just need
literally
to,
trying to keep her from dying. So
yeah. So yeah, fair. Crow gets stung by the scorpion tail. Ruby
shoots it off.
shoots off the tail,
A plus.
and then Tyrion calls her a bee. Yeah.
Interesting.
The number one way to make me hate you is to call
Yes.
my female character that. So, yeah, I don't know why is Tyrion saying that? They can't help themselves with this. Like,
I know.
they don't. I know he's a bad person. He doesn't need to say that. Like, I don't.
Also, it's just really weird for the show because, like, generally speaking, we don't like there's not really there's not necessarily I don't. There's just not a lot of that language in the show in general. So it's just
I don't
really
remember
weird.
any cursing before that.
No, I don't either. Like, and it's really weird.
I guess there might have been, but that was a jarring. It was jarring in
it's-
that.
It's
also-
jarring for like a bad and just it's awful. Like, no.
Tyrion also just doesn't seem Tyrion's like not the misogynist villain. He's like the weird villain. I guess
He's
he
just
also
a really creepy villain.
I guess he
So
also could be the misogynist villain, but that just seems weird for him to say that. Like
no,
really,
it's super weird.
like
And
I just hate that every time and I understand that he's a bad person, but like every time the female character does things that they don't like, they have to say that. So not a fan.
and I'm even about the reclamation of the word by women, because I'm like, yo, but like
Yeah,
the
this
show
is definitely not that.
no, it's definitely not that. The show, like, there's been like very little to no cursing before this point. It'd be funny if Ruby just dropped the F-bomb for no reason. That'd be fine.
Great. Yeah, I'd be great.
That'd be great. But like, this makes no sense. Like, one, it's really jarring for like a really awful reason, and then it's just bad. Like, why did you do this? Like, and my thing is like, is there going to be cursing moving forward? Is it just going to be Tyrion? Like, none of this makes sense.
Yeah, why is this show now PG-13? I guess it always was, but
it's like I don't understand.
Yeah, that was interesting. What do you think of RWBY blowing off his tail? Will it grow back?
I hope not.
I think
I
yes.
don't know how
I think
scorpions work.
Yeah. That's the other thing, because he's a scorpion. I'm worried Crow is poisoned now.
That was my concern. That's when he was like, "I'll be fine." I'm like, "Are you poisoned though, bro? Like, are you okay?"
Like, yeah. Do you have scorpions in your world? Do you know how that works? Because you might not be fine.
Because I was like,
Because he says he only grazed me, so I don't know about that.
Yeah, and he was like, "Grant, I know it hurt, but like." He's like really like about it. So
I think we're gonna go with the Crow. Is he's like he can't show the pain in front of them, and then he goes on his own. He's like, oh crap, I'm gonna die. So
please don't die, Crow.
I guess he'll like go back to, and then he'll go back to Raven, and then Raven has the antidote or something like that. I don't know. Something crazy. That doesn't make sense, but the show could easily just do that without explaining. So
true. Who knows?
Something like that. Yeah. So
or he might just be fine. We don't know.
Yeah. He might just be fine. I don't know. And then it ends, I guess, after that. So, and then it's like, what's going on? Why were you Yeah. Only Ren was like, why were you following us? Like, he's the only one that asked that question. Everyone else is like, oh yeah, Crow's here.
Well, I think I actually, for once, they did a dumb line that I liked, and they were like, it's your favorite, fairy tale. So like, RWBY knows the story.
Yeah, that's what it is at the,
which I actually liked that.
Why explain?
I don't know why I liked it. It was neat. Well, it's one of those like, I don't know. It's like the main thing, but better. Like RWBY knows the story because Crow's told it to her so many times. But it's like it's all real.
Yeah,
I think that's neat. I don't know. I mean, I read like the Mortal Instruments, and that's all like all the stories are true, like that dumb stuff. So like, I don't know. It's cool. I'm fine with it.
Yeah. Okay.
Talk about the really dumb Crow line where he's like, "You took the words right out, and thank you." He got interrupted. You dumb. I hate Crow sometimes. I mean, I don't want him to die, but like, he's the vehicle for all the dumb things. I'm just like, stop talking.
Yeah, Crow has the most contrite lines. I agree. I did not like the thing at the end, but the fairy tale line, typical.
I thought it was okay. We'll see what happens.
Sure. Yeah, I didn't really understand why it was there, and then it kind of just ends. But the fight scene, though, I think was really good. And here's what I have to say about the fight scene. I'm not sure whether this is them improving in the new, in this new world of them handling fight scenes on their own. I think that the big one of the big talking points with the season 3 and beyond fight scenes, our post Monty ones, is that we lose a lot of this kind of frenetic pace of that Monty brought to these scenes, and they're really just kind of slow and like deliberate and not fast paced and really awesome that it kind of was in volumes 1 and 2. And I think that the character of Tyrion has kind of necessitated them to move faster because he's kind of this really fast paced villain. So I really think it's helped the fight style of this scene. I think this is one of the best we've gotten in the past 2 seasons, just because it moves so fast, and they're really forced to just get it going and have this more frenetic pace, which I think really helps. I'm worried that this is just a Tyrion thing, but I hope that they bring this to the other fight sequences the rest of the season as well.
Yeah, I remember volume 1, volume 2, and I didn't even know what was going on half the time because it was going so fast. I was like, that was really cool. I don't know what happened, but it was really neat. And definitely, the fights have slowed down, and this is definitely the closest we've gotten to like a Volume 1 fight or a Volume 2 fight. And I can feel like it's a lot of it's Tyrion just because like the way Tyrion moves and like they're trying to characterize him and stuff. So, but maybe it'll be with other fights. I mean, obviously to this point it hasn't been the case, but maybe going forward we'll just have to see, I guess. Granted, Crow moves pretty fast also, so we'll just have to see, I guess. But it was definitely I think that was definitely the big like standout from this fight was the pacing.
Yeah.
Which it blended a little bit into the episode too. So who knows?
Yeah, I think that it's definitely a Tyrion thing, but also Crow does move fast too in general. So it might just be those characters, but I agree this is the most Volume 1 and 2 scene we've gotten since then. I mean, I think that some of our finale fights were great, but I think this was like kind of the fastest one and the most similar from.
Right. Like, that's what's fun about the show. That's what's characteristic. Is when you watch Volume 1 and 2, you're like, oh my god, I don't know what happened, but it was really cool.
Yeah.
And and a lot of the fights have suffered, like they're really deliberate, they're really slow, and to the point where it's like that wasn't really exciting. Kind of like the tournament fights; those were really boring.
Yeah,
so.
I agree. This is like the opposite of the tournament fight, so I was pretty happy with that. Predictions for next episode?
I don't think we're gonna see Oscar. I think a lot of it will just be like Crow telling them the story, and we're probably gonna hate it. But maybe there'll be some cool stuff they do with it.
So you think Crow's gonna exposition? Interesting. So you think that's what that line's leading into? Okay.
I hope so. Like I think Crow.
See, to me, that I can't tell the difference between them just throwing in some weird line and them
that's true.
intending to go somewhere. So,
well, if my hope is that they're going somewhere, and what they do is like they have Crow talking, but instead of just them seeing them, we have like some cool animation going on, like the animation of the story while he tells it. That'd be awesome because like that is neat stuff.
I would love if next episode was just a a World of Remnant type animated episode with Crow explaining, not a World of Remnant, but a main one of Crow explaining the fable of Salem and Ozpin type thing.
That'd be neat. Please do. Yeah. And then maybe at the end of the episode we see Salem and Ozpin like. Well, I don't think we're going to see Oscar, so I guess not Ozpin, but like Salem doing something.
Yeah, my read on this was not that we're about to get any explanation, but who knows, maybe. I think we'll certainly see Crow addressed in something. I think that we're a favorite to see Blake and Yang at some point here.
Yes.
Probably.
We need to see Yang. We haven't seen her.
Yeah, we haven't seen Yang in a while.
What's Yang doing?
Yeah, and then you're right, we can check in on Salem again soon. So I think the next time we'll see Weiss, she'll be on the run, or maybe she'll run into, or maybe we won't see Weiss for like 3 episodes, and then she'll run into one of our characters.
That'd be cool. I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
I stole the Weiss blimp. Like.
Yeah, she just takes
something ridiculous. Like,
that'd be so good if she just wasn't like on foot. She just took one at like some grandiose thing. Yeah, I would love that.
Please, that'd be pretty good.
Yeah. Let's do that. And she crashes into the town that Ruby and Crow and
yes.
And then our White Reserve Unit. Yeah, there you go. So yeah, let us know what you thought of this episode. YouTube comments on the website, and we will check in there. Will we have an episode on New Year's Eve?
Who knows?
Who knows? If they put it out on Christmas Eve, then it's anyone's guess.
Let's not have a Thanksgiving episode, but oh no, let's have a Christmas episode. Like, okay, Rooster Teeth.
I actually am in favor of just ignoring holidays for online releases. But the problem is they don't post it anywhere. Like, I guess they posted on their Twitters, which I didn't see, but it's not.
I saw it on Twitter and was like, Dylan.
Yeah, if you go to roosterteeth.com, it's not there. Like, next episode, like, what is? Because I looked at the upcoming, like, on the live, and it was like, we're just gonna re-air the World of Remnant from last week. Guys, who knows what's happening here? They need to figure this out. Seriously. Maybe there's a blog post I didn't see, but like. Yeah, not a fan of not communicating with this. But yeah, we will be back whenever the show's back to continue to cover RWBY. Check out our upcoming year-end animation coverage at overlyanimated.com. Our results are coming up soon, and one last end of the year podcast too, which we recorded. Overlyanimated.com. For those, consider supporting us at patreon.com/overlyanimated. Thank you very much to our patrons: Mitch Cordell, Beatrice, Nate, Andy, Jamie, Rachel, John, Ryan, Catherine, Taylor, Devon, Jay, John, Finish, and Victoria, Katrin, and Steve, aka Phoebe, Mitch, Garner, C, Beach, James, Nathan, Fillion, Buzz, Lightyear, Mailman, Rachel Rose, John, Bravo, Brian, Cook, Cat, Needle, Diamond Day, Jewel, Garfield, Fusion, Skylark, Patron, Katrin, Freaking Garmenter, Steve. Yep. Hooray! Surprise Ruby. Yay!
Woo!
Yeah. Well,
It was actually a good one though. So like,
yep. Actually, good. Surprise Ruby. Hashtag. There you go.
That's what we got for Christmas. We got a good RWBY episode.
Yeah. So let us also tell me your big Osmond Oscar theories. Why are we wrong on that?
Yes, we need to know.
Yeah, we would need to know that. So thanks for listening, guys, and we'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye.